I asked you guys what the best Apex Legends weapon loadouts are for Season 12, and it's fair to say he had some weird opinions. PSR Wexro said he thinks the Alternator and the Rampage is the best loadout for Season 12, and called it a Masters Starter Pack. Alright, I think that's enough tongue-in-cheek about the Masters not being able to control guns. I think the Rampage is a very hard gun to use, thank you. And thank you to EA as well for sponsoring today's video. Much appreciated for supporting the channel. Now, I played one game with this loadout with the Alternator and Rampage because, like, who actually wants to play longer with this loadout? I'm sorry, but no, this is horrible. But after just a few minutes in game, the results that I was finding might actually surprise you. That is, if you've been living under a rock, because the Rampage is obviously absolutely disgusting, has no recoil, and is melting people at my own free will. Now, while the Alternator did most of the early game killing, it's fair to say that during the rest of the game, I didn't touch it for the most part because I didn't need to. I just didn't have to take my hand off the trigger when I was shooting the Rampage. This actually got me thinking about the amount of people who wanted me to run Alternator as part of their best weapon loadout of Season 12. Hello? Who is waking up in the morning and wanting to find an Alternator on the ground? That's just my opinion though, and if you have your own opinion, then make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think the best weapon loadout of Season 12 is. There's a lot more weapon combinations to get through. Or, I mean, you could just comment, "Yeehaw, cowboy," and that works too, I guess. My teammate was doing the best here to call out some call-outs like we're in ALGS, and I think as the game went on, you'll start to see I actually did queue into the ALGS finals by mistake. Fortunately, my teammate's perfectly timed call-out saved me from this skeeving Wraith. I would definitely not have seen her were it not for this call-out. And then I could get back to doing what I do best, which is holding down the trigger on the Rampage and not letting go. Unfortunately, both my teammates left after they got knocked, and I had no chance to res them, so I was now without the pro top tier gaming callouts, which meant I was doomed to lose this game. But that wasn't gonna stop me from holding down the trigger and at every single person I saw, and it was actually working pretty well, I can't lie. This might be one of the better loadouts in Apex Legends. At least that's what I was thinking of saying before I remembered that I hadn't touched my Alternator in a hot minute, but I didn't need to. The Rampage is like two guns in one anyway. I was eventually silenced by this Revenant here. Not literally, he didn't silence me like that, he killed me. And that was the end of this fun adventure using the Rampage. Overall though, I'd rate this loadout a solid 7 out of 10 gibbies. I think it's actually pretty good. The Alternator definitely could be improved on. Personally, I would use other weapons over that. And the Rampage holds a lot of power, you could say, right now. But honestly, overall, big fan of... I'm not a fan, I hate this gun. The next loadout suggested by Bloom Bloom Pow was the R400, a trusty, reliable combo that we all know and love in Apex Legends. You're gonna see it's kind of a running theme in today's video, but again, with the first game that I had with this loadout, I had an absolute blast. Unlike the last game, where I lost a piece of my soul, I was actually really enjoying using this weapon combination, and it wasn't until late in the game that I got the R99, but the R301 held its own. I didn't even need a secondary. The R301 is just the supreme weapon in this game. That being said, a lot of this game was to the credit of my Lifeline teammate, a new player to the game, but one which was hell-bent on keeping me alive. I just have to say thank you, Lifeline. I absolutely love you. As you guys can see from the gameplay, the majority, if not the entirety of this game was played in the market salvage area. For a moment, I thought I was in a game of Call of Duty Zombies as the waves of zombies just kept coming and coming and coming, except this time, the zombies were not the undead, but instead, they were the brain dead. The brain dead Octanes and Wraiths and Horizons who would not stop chasing me down. I mean, please give a Loba a moment to breathe. And with the trusty sidekick of Lifeline by my side, my reliable R301 and R99 combination, I was able to mow down the entirety of this lobby, dropping over 4,000 damage and 18 kills. You love to see it. Here's a newsflash for you. The R99 and the R301 are very good in Apex Legends. This loadout gets a whopping 9 out of 10 gibbies. I think the only thing I would change about it is the fact that both guns use light ammo. I think if there was an alternative close range weapon that you could use that doesn't use light ammo, hint hint, there definitely is, then I would definitely call this loadout a 10 out of 10. It's just so much fun, so reliable, and you're just gonna have a blast. Unfortunately, after having this absolutely amazing game, I had to tackle what I believe to be a troll comment. Who could do such a thing? Trolling online. God. Now backdoor Kanye suggested that 2 charge rifles was the best loadout for Season 12. And I'm not gonna turn any suggestion away, I'm gonna try it, you don't know me. And I kid you not, like, this is genuinely the truth, I'm not trolling. This was my first game with 2 charge rifles. As you can see, there was a lot of pokery, jiggery pokery, a little bit of zapping here, a little bit of zzz going on, but I'd come up with a good tactic to use whilst using 2 charge rifles. And that tactic went a little bit of something like identify the enemy, shoot them, damage them, get chased by them, run away, repeat. And this was working out pretty well for me. In fact, I was doing very, very good. This Bloodhound with the turbocharged Devo wanted my blood, but they just weren't getting it. They just couldn't handle the charge rifle. And what do you know, by the end of the game, I'm in the top 2 squads with over 3,500 damage, and I wasn't gonna let it end there. This Lifeline and Mirage, they wanted me dead more than anything, because I'd been tickling them a little bit throughout the game. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, but no, I was gonna drop 4,000 damage in my first attempt with 2 charge rifles. Did I lose the game? Yes. Did I win the hearts of everyone involved with this video? Yes, I hope so. Subscribe if I did, please. But when it comes to rating this monstrosity of a loadout, I have to give it a 4. A 4 at most. I feel like that's even generous, but the charge rifle in itself is a pretty good gun. But 2 of them, just get it out of here. Just please save me from this nightmare. Now, as you can see here, Octo suggested the Hemlock and the Alternator. Again, with the Alternator. Let's just pretend that she suggested the Hemlock and the Mastiff, and I tried. I really tried to use the Hemlock. With this, I'll be honest, this wasn't my first attempt. I tried too many times. I hate the Hemlock, guys. I just cannot use the Hemlock in Apex. Apex? It's hurting my brain. Now, I don't know what it is about the Hemlock, but I just can't hit my shots with it at all. I miss so much, and when I do hit, it's for very small amounts of damage, and it just doesn't make me happy at all. There's every possible chance that I was just having an off day when I recorded this, so I'm not actually gonna rate the Hemlock, and I'm not gonna even involve the Alternator or Mastiff or anything else with this, because me and the Hemlock really don't like each other right now, and I think I'm just gonna come back to it. So it's on standby for now, but I'm watching you. I don't like you. But as is with every list video, I am saving the best till last. From dead account, we were suggested Alt F4. Now, I've heard rumors of what this can do to your Apex Legends experience, and I heard it can drastically change it for the better or the worse, depending on how you're feeling. And I landed in on some perfect high ground with a bunch of teams around me, and I hit Alt F4. Wait, are you kidding me?